Alright, so we're going to go over a few problems from our study guide today. Then you'll work on the rest of them on your own. And I'll make sure that I come around and check on them. First, I want you to look at number 1. Number 1 does not have parentheses, so we won't use distributive property. So we would move on to step 2. And step 2 is combining like terms. Okay, so our like terms in this case, negative 1f and positive 4f. When we say combine, we just mean to add them together. So it's negative 1 and positive 4. So now we have 3f, and we're going to copy everything else down. So the plus 2 comes down, and then 8 minus 3f comes down. From here, we need to check to see if we move our variable to one side. So our variables are 3f and negative 3f. I always just move the smaller variable. So I'm going to do the inverse of a negative and do a positive 3f. And same thing on the other side. The opposites cancel. 8 is left. 3f plus 3f is 6f. Bring down your plus 2. Okay, from here, you move on to step 4, which is moving your constant. Our constant is next to our variable term, so we're going to move this 2 by showing subtraction. Opposites cancel, and 6f equals 6. And then step 5, our last step, divide by the coefficient with the variable. And so f equals 1. Okay, number 4. This one does not have parentheses, so there's no distributive property, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to look for combining like terms. 5c cannot be combined with 16.5, and on the other side of the equal sign, 13.5 cannot be combined with 10c. So then we move on to moving a variable to one side. I have a variable on the left and a variable on the right side of the equal sign. I'm going to move my lower variable, inverse operations. This is understood to be a positive 5c. So I'm going to show a negative, which is just subtraction. These cancel. 16.5, copy that down. Bring down your 13.5. And 10c minus 5c is 5c. Now we move on to step 4, which is to add or subtract the constant. Our variable term is over here, so our constant that we need to move is next to it. So we need to get rid of that 13.5, which is positive, show it with a negative. That means we're subtracting them. Opposites cancel, 5c is left, so bring it down. 16.5 minus 13.5, 3. Then our final step, multiply or divide to isolate the variable. Our variable is c. It's being multiplied by 5, so do the inverse and divide. Okay, we're going to get 0.6 is equal to c. In Canvas, I want you to write it as 3/5. Okay, so this is for Canvas. When I tell you to put it in, that's what you'll need to put in. This is the only problem on the study guide that comes out as a fraction or decimal. It's the only one. Okay, move to the back side of the page. You'll notice that the back side looks different from the front. The front side doesn't have any parentheses, but you'll see that the back, all of them have parentheses, which means that we're going to be doing what?
Distribution.
Yeah, so we're going to have to distribute a factor on each one of these at least once. So let's look at number 7. Okay, on number 7, we need to distribute this 3 across the 6 and the negative f. So now this is 18. 3 times negative 1f is negative 3f. And bring down everything else. From here, we do step 2, check for like terms. Do I have any like terms?
Yes.
Yeah.
18 and negative 4, which equals 14.
Yeah, so 18 and negative 4 is 14. Bring everything else down. From here, we need to move our variable to one side. We have negative 3f and positive 3f. Let's move the negative 3 by adding. These cancel, and 14 equals 6f minus 4. We're on to step 4, which is to move your constant. Here's our variable, here's the constant next to it. Add 4, because that's the opposite of subtraction. Those cancel. 6f is left, and 14 plus 4 is 18. Our final step is to isolate the variable by division. So divide both sides by 6. And 3 is the value for f. Whenever you work these problems with fractions, we don't need to change them into decimals. They will work out evenly into whole numbers. Turn back over to number 2 on your page. Okay, so number 2 here starts with not distributive property, but combining like terms. Remember that when you combine like terms, this is 20 and this is negative 6. What are they together?
14.
So this is going to be 14 plus 4k equals 2 minus 2k. And that's how you start that one out, okay? All right, so go ahead and do the other 7 problems, and I'll be around to help walk you through these.